Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Michael's Corner. Oh my God, I am so excited to bring in two of my best friends in wrestling. Actually, I'm wearing their shirt tonight in the honor of this interview. So, this is part one of this episode because I'm going to bring in two of my favorite wrestlers in the wrestling community. I'm telling you, these guys has been killing it in the wrestling scene. Both Erik and Andrew Lockhart. So I'm going to wait for them until they get all set up and whatnot because I am super excited to interview these guys. So now part one is going to be mostly about how we met. So I can't wait to bring them on. And actually he's on right now, so let's see if I can invite him. Oh, this should be exciting. Hello.
Michael,
How's it going?
not too bad. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. I see you guys got the Power Rangers
Yes.
costume.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Wait, let's see
Yeah.
your shirt. Yeah. What are you
Uh,
wearing? What shirt are you wearing?
I'm actually wearing your Lockhart t-shirt.
And,
I don't know if you guys can see it or not.
wonderful. And where did you get
Yeah.
that? Let's see that.
Yep. Right there.
And where did you buy that?
Huh?
What website did you get that from?
Pro Wrestling Tees.
.com/
That,
brother.
yeah, that's where I brought it from.
Thanks for that plug.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's just not waste any time. We gotta tell everyone how we met. So Erik, I'll start with you because I actually met you first.
Yes.
This was back in February 17th of 2011. So we was at a wrestling show in, if my memory serves correctly, it was in Lester Prairie, Minnesota. And it was snowy night. And when I came there with a friend of mine, when I first saw you, you fractured your wrist, and you were scheduled to compete in that match that night against with Paul Brewski. So can you tell everyone how did you injure your hand?
So that had probably happened maybe a couple weeks before. I was driving down I-35 in Minnesota, going to wrestle on the weekend. It was a really snowy and icy night, and I hit a patch of ice
Mm-hmm.
and started spinning on the interstate. So
Mm-hmm.
I hit a guardrail, and while I was hanging onto my wheel, just the jerk and go back, my pinky got caught on the wheel when I came back, and it actually
Mm-hmm.
this pinky knuckle over here in the left
Oh
hand.
wow.
So I had it all wrapped up, and I was like, I'm gonna have to take time off. But literally, I got called the next weekend and told, oh, you can work around it, just come wrestle. So I wrestled for months with like my hand in a cast, and then it went through a brace, and then I had it taped for like a year until I felt like I had full mobility back. So yeah, that was during that time that we first met.
Yeah, I remember you wrestling with a fractured hand, and when that cast came off, and when you wrestle as a heel, you kind of shocked me. I think this was in Cologne, Minnesota. There was a wrestling show, And oh my goodness, you two were like heels. You guys shocked me. I was rooting for you guys. Cologne, Minnesota is my favorite area because that's where Michael Mo started. By rooting you two. So I was, you know what? I just supported you guys from day one. Still supporting you guys now. Because I got like every t-shirt. I got the t-shirt to prove it and whatnot. So so yeah. Oh, by the way, someone messaged me on Facebook not too long ago. His name is Chad Moses. He goes by the name of Moses Mayhem.
Okay.
He just moved to Florida not too long ago. He told me in the message he wants to challenge you, Erik, and you, Andrew, to a match when when everything gets back up and running again. He wants to face you two. Now, Moses Mayhem's a big dude, and you guys are known to facing big people, big dudes in your career, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I got the feeling if you and Moses Mayhem face each other in a one-on-one match, oh my goodness, that should be like the main event. That should be a main event match. So, in my book, so yeah,
Yeah, man.
I'd like to see that match.
I haven't seen a lot of Moses, but I am aware of him just from social media. He's pretty active on there. But yeah, we're down to wrestle anybody at any time. But like he said, once everything kind of starts to clear up, we're big on that too. Doing it the smart way and buying your time in the meantime to make sure you're prepared when everything gets back up and running. So
That's good. You know something? A lot of reason why I'm doing Michael's Corner is because I want to keep doing content because all the wrestlers who I interview really likes it when I get the opportunity to do this, you know, because I was trying to find out how can I interview these wrestlers, you know, because I'm not at wrestling shows and I'm just feeling kind of sad and vulnerable. And I got to say to myself, I got to interview these wrestlers because not putting content on my YouTube channel is really kind of sucks, you know. So I'm just doing this for my YouTube audience and I'm doing this for my Instagram followers and Facebook, everything, just so I can get content out there. And I want to thank you guys for taking this time out of your busy schedules to do this interview, you know? And I worked really hard. And Andrew, thank you for making that Michael's Corner local because I'm getting a lot of feedback. I'm getting a lot of feedback from that local, you know, that you sent to me, you know.
good feedback.
So thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So now Erik, I gotta ask you this, you know. We've been friends 9 years, right?
Yeah.
Almost 9. Holy 9 years. You're making me look old. No, actually, I'm 36, so I'm not afraid to tell people my age. So, we've been friends for a pretty long time. We gotta talk about your match against with Cameron Cole, I believe.
Okay.
Oh my God. I seen that match on YouTube. Oh my God, him just blowing that smoke in your face. Can you tell me what was your reaction when he did that? My God.
So I'm not anyone that dabbles in anything really outside of drinking water and exercising.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not big on any type of smoking or anything, and that's I guess I'll just look at it as very disrespectful. Hey, when someone's
Yeah.
smoking around you, knowing they
Mm-hmm.
don't smoke, and then to have the audacity to blow it right in your face. Now, he was trying to get a rise out of me and a rise out of the audience. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go and watch that match yourself, as Michael said, he saw it on YouTube. You can find it on Erik Lockhart YouTube channel. I made Cameron Cole pay for that. If you remember the end of that match, Mike, I got a hold of
Mm-hmm.
his vape pen and took care of it. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, because I gotta tell you, what Cameron Cole did was so disrespectful. He better be lucky that I wasn't there. Because if I saw that, that would have been a different story.
See, at Reality Wrestling, Michael, they actually have security in the audience for people
Oh wow.
that like to
Wow.
get all riled up.
Yes, security. Wow. Yeah, speaking of that, wow. Well, then let's talk about your match that you had against with I can't pronounce his name. Rio. I think he was champion at the time. You faced him in the match for the ROW heavyweight title. Can you tell me how that match went down? Because I seen it on YouTube. And how did you feel about being in that match?
You're talking with Gino, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yes. We met Gino when we first moved down to Houston, and he was he was young, I know that, like 16, 17, training to
Mm-hmm.
wrestle, and watching how he's developed and matured in wrestling in whatever, how many ever years it's been since we first met him, like 8 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just constantly impressed with him because he's always evolving his game, and working with
Mm-hmm.
him in the title match. We actually had 3 title matches, I believe. No, two televised anyway. I can't remember. My memory's so bad. But every time Gino and I locked up, I enjoy the matches. I learn a little bit of something, and we always go out there and do so much because our styles gel so well together. So yeah, I'll work Gino any night of the week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm seeing some of your matches on YouTube, and it's like if there's this one match where he dropped you on your head, man, and I tell you, it scared the crap out of me because I thought for a second he gave you a concussion. You was knocked unconscious.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was pretty scary moment for me.
Yeah. I got checked out immediately after that by some of the medical team they had on staff, and I wasn't diagnosed with a concussion.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember the end of that match. I had to watch it back to see what happened because, I fell right in the top of my head. He actually picked me up. If I'm thinking of the same match you were, he picked me up while I was limp and hung me over like the top rope and then hit me with, I can't remember what he calls his finish. Scarlet Letter, thank you. Yeah, so.
Yeah. So, yeah. So you guys are just killing it. I mean, you know, you have some of the greatest matches, Eric, singles matches that I've seen. Now I'm gonna have to bring this up because I also saw this too. You actually faced Andrew. You faced Andrew Lockhart. Andrew. And I remember watching that match, and my first expression was this. I felt very uncomfortable because you two are my best friends. And I was like, oh my God, I was like, oh no, I don't want to see them face each other. But at the end of the day, it was all business. Business is business. And I got to watch the match, and I did enjoy it, but at the same time, I was a little bit uncomfortable.
Can you tell us about that match a little bit? Because we wrestled each other a handful of times. So which one are you referring to?
I believe this was ROW, and I believe this was it's on YouTube.
Okay.
I forgot what year it was.
Do you remember any part of the match? That would help me out. I don't remember years like that.
I do, yeah. Yeah, it's like, I think this was summer of Champions in Reality of Wrestling. And that was in I believe it was 2015 or 16, I believe.
15, yeah. Well, you have a good memory, Michael.
Mm-hmm. And I got, yes. Yep, old man tuition. But yeah, I got, that was a great match that you two had, you know.
Thank you.
Yep. So Andrew, now you're next.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Because we actually met around the same year as I met Erik. So it was around maybe March of 2011, and you was wrestling as the Little Tiger. So can you tell me why Little Tiger?
I gotta go grab the water. So you good? You want water, Michael?
Mm-hmm.
You want water? Okay. You want some water?
Yeah. So
actually, the time we met was I think Silver Lake.
Yeah, Silver Lake.
I came in and pulled Erik out of the ring, and he rolled under the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And I continued the match, and I won. So that was actually the first time you and I met, and that was me. That was Andrew Lockhart that night.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and you was Andrew Lockhart. Yep, and yeah, and then you was known as Little Tiger. Then you kind of changed your gimmick into Andrew Lockhart. So yeah, so it was, yes, it's so amazing that we met like almost 9 years, like months apart, you know, and what time flies by fast, you know. But Andrew, you kind of shocked me too in 2014 when you know, with this whole gimmick, you know, in Reality of Wrestling, where you change your gimmick, you know. And I seen some of your matches. Oh my God, you shocked me. Because when you had your matches you facing with Erik and whatnot, you just blew me away. Now you got to tell me, how did you came up with that gimmick? You know, the what you call it? the flamboyant gimmick. Because I really like that gimmick. I really do.
Actually, it's not really a gimmick or anything different.
Okay.
I was just sick of working out and putting on spray tan, so I just started wearing more clothes and got a haircut. And
Mm-hmm.
just kind of started acting. Um, a big thing about me, if I'm not entertained, I don't think anybody else is gonna be entertained. So I just
Mm-hmm.
did and acted the way I wanted to, and
Mm-hmm.
it seemed people still remember it, and that was 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it was somewhat of a success on my end that I was able to do something by myself that made
Mm-hmm.
somewhat of like, I don't want to say an impact, but like people remember it, and that's good for
Mm-hmm.
me.
Yeah, that's good. So then in 2014, when you came back to Minnesota to wrestle for Minnesota Extreme Wrestling, and when Kurt told me that you was gonna be in town, I was so I was so shocked. Um, it's like, and I told Kurt that I gotta be there for his match. I gotta be there for your match against with Spire Baby. So can you tell me how this all went about? Because you kind of surprised me when I heard that you was coming. I was so excited for that moment.
Yeah,
So,
that was actually 2016, and
mhm,
I went home for Christmas because I live in Wisconsin, and I
mhm,
just messaged Spider Baby. I'm like, hey, you and I never had like, I didn't say a match, but him and I like didn't really train or do anything for years. I was like, are you going anywhere? Do you have a show so I can just like we
mhm,
can hang out or something? And then he actually messaged me about Kurt. I didn't even know Kurt was running shows at the time. And so yeah,
mhm,
it happened very quick. He's like, if you message Kurt, maybe you could get on the show. And then like the next day, it's like, if you're on the show, or what do you want to do? And so I would
mhm,
only wrestle Spider Baby. That's pretty much like the
mhm,
bucket list thing I had. And then my parents wanted to
mhm,
go with, and then other people were interested in. So I kept on doing shows for Kurt for like five
mhm,
months.
mhm.
And thank you for
Yeah,
filming all those, by the way, and being there.
you very welcome. You're very welcome. See, that's what I do. I go to wrestling shows. I try to film some of the wrestlers' matches and put it on my YouTube channel and whatnot. So, oh, and by the way, I gotta bring this up, okay, Andrew? You had a match against with Danny Duggan. Oh, I would love to hear how this match came about because I got so many reviews off of that on YouTube. Everybody was liking that match. So you gotta tell them how that match came about.
Yeah, actually, kind of funny background story of it. I was driving to the show and I was listening to who was it? I was listening to a Chris Jericho podcast, and he was talking about the actor William Shatner, and William
Mm-hmm,
Shatner never says no to anything, and like
mm-hmm,
that's his motto. Like if he gets asked to film anything, he says yes, and he says yes. And so I'm driving to the show because I think that was in was that Ham Lake, Minnesota?
yeah, that was Tam Lake. Yep.
It was Ham Lake, Minnesota. So like I get to the show and I'm like I feel good and I'm like I'm never gonna say no to anything. And then I walk
Mm-hmm,
inside and they told me like, hey, your match is gonna be against Steve Stardom tonight. And right away I was like, crap. No. But, like I wouldn't guess what I just said. But like we Eric and I we like Steve. Like he's a great guy. It's just like I wrestled him before,
mm-hmm,
and I knew that was going to be my last time there before I moved to Florida, actually. And so
mm-hmm,
they said Danny Duggan's gonna show up, but he's gonna show up really late. And Erik
Mm-hmm.
actually wrestled Danny Duggan in Canada in like 2008 or 9 or 10.
I'm going to get to that in a minute.
Yeah, so once I found out Danny was gonna be there, I knew that like I could have the best match on the card with him, and I always wanted to wrestle him. And so we were actually supposed to be like third, but he was coming from another show. So I sat there the whole time and just waited and waited, and then he showed up at the end of intermission, and they put the tag title match on before us. I think it was like Slam against Joey, Brock, or whoever. And,
Okay.
Yeah, like I know you know who I'm talking about. And so he came in and just kind of like looked at me, and he was like, your last name sounds familiar. I'm like, yep, that's my brother. And then like my music started playing, and we just went out there and like had a match, and it went really well. The finish didn't go to my liking, but everything else was. That was a really interesting, fun night.
Yeah, that was a fun night, and I gotta tell you, I really liked that match. In fact, I saw that I think it was my first time in a long time that I actually watched my own recording. I actually watched the match 3 nights ago, and I was like, "Oh wow, that's a great match," you know. And a lot of matches I like of you, Andrew, when you faced Brock Hall. Now that was shocking. That was shocking. I'm telling you, I actually got the screenshot of you sticking your behind out towards Brock Hall's face. Everybody was laughing off of that. And I took the screenshot and I posted it all over social media. Because that to me was fun.
Well, you're a true friend to do something like that to me.
Yeah.
I'm joking. But that was a great match too. Pretty much, that match was just really fun and really quick. And it made me excited because that was actually supposed to be my last match there, and then I was going to move. And then who was in charge? Kurt and Dave asked me to can you come to Rice Lake and wrestle Damon? Damon Knight, right?
Yes, Damon Knight.
Yeah. Like, can you come to Rice Lake and wrestle Damon Knight for the title? And again, there was also talk of like, well, that Steve Stardom's like 5,000 match. Like, he might want to wrestle you. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'll show up to Rice Lake. I'll be there. And I actually ended up having that title match instead against Damon Knight, which was really fun because like most of the crowd was like, they really liked us. And so that was probably one of my favorite matches I had. When I was up there.
Yeah, I filmed that match too. I mean, Damon Knight was picking on me like crazy, and I know you had my back, so you almost won the title, but that Damon Knight, he is one tough SOB.
Well, if you remember, he had that mohawk, and he used it to die like more than once. So if that didn't happen, I would probably still be the champion today.
Yeah. So Erik, I got to ask you this: what's it like when you faced Danny Duggan back in 2008, I believe?
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it would have been. It was either 2009 or 2010.
Okay.
Or 2011. It all blends. That time.
So yeah, how was it like to face Danny Duggan?
So I went up to Canada with Annie Brookstone, who you remember. Shout out to Ann. I know she's watching. Yeah. No, we got it. Bing, bing. So we go in Canada, and we probably went there the night before. We crashed at someone's house, and then went to the event. It was held at a softball park.
Okay.
So we show up, and the promoter's like, I think I'm going to have you working Danny. And then Danny came around, and he was actually helping put the matches together. And he was like, I don't know, let me walk around. And we chatted for a little bit. And then he's like, yeah, okay, we'll work together, because I guess he took a liking to me. He just asked me to go out there and cut a pro-USA promo on the Canadian audience. So I went there and was very pro-USA. And it didn't take long for them to not favor me too much. And then Danny came out as the hometown hero, even though, everyone was from Canada on that card. But we had a lot of fun. I legit made a couple little kids in the audience cry during that match.
Oh, no. Not you, Eric.
There,
really? That's weird. You made those kids cry.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I got thrown out of the ring, and they were yelling at me right while I was crawling and trying to get back up to my feet. So I got up to my feet and took a step towards the ring, and then turned really quick and yelled at them to sit down because they were standing up and right in my face. I mean, right in my hip. I'm like 6'2". Yeah, in Canada, yeah, in Canadian.
Yeah.
So they ran back and started crying, and Danny legit got out of the ring and stopped what we were doing so he could go console the children. So naturally, after that, everyone booed Danny.
Oh, whoa, wow.
No, I'm just kidding.
Everybody.
He became super babyface at that point. So he grabbed my hair and pulled me over the top rope into the ring. And usually when that happens, you'll grab the hands to relieve the pressure. But I'm like, I trust Danny, and I don't even know what that means. So I just let go and was dangling with my hands, and he was holding me up by my hair. It's not a good idea. He definitely took some out, and then he let me go, and I fell into the ring. But yeah, we had a fun match, and then we had a match on the main event that night, and I went down to the final two. So it was a good night in Canada. I didn't win, but runner-up.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's good that the match went well, even though you didn't win. And like I said, like I told you guys before, like I said in the past, when you lose, you actually win. And when you lose, you actually win. And when you win, you actually lose. Remember me saying that many years ago on Messenger? I sent you a message on Facebook stating that, telling you that. And you know where I got that from, right? White man can't jump. Rosie Perez says that. And it still hit me, So, and I always gave you guys some advice, come, before your matches or the day before your matches, And, if it wasn't for me doing that, I don't know if you guys, what to do, what to do in your matches, So I gave you some advice, going into your matches and, and
you were just talking about how we lose a lot.
Yeah. But to me, you guys are actually winners. Yeah. To me, you guys are actually winners,
Well, we just try to make sure that everyone that watches us enjoys themselves. So as long as the people are happy, it's a win.
Yeah, and that's what matters. You know what? Like I mentioned before, you said this interview should be 35 minutes. There should be a part 2. And part 2, 2-part interview So I would like to invite you guys on Michael's Corner next Thursday, because I gotta talk about how you guys got into reality of wrestling on the WXW and Birmingham Championship Wrestling and 205 Live, because it's too big. It's too big to do it all in one night. I want to save that for next week. If that's okay, you two?
Yeah, same time or
You know what? I tell you what, let's do it same time. This works out just fine for me. And it works for you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So you're saying we're wrapping up already?
Yeah, because I told Erik how long this interview will be, and I told him 35 minutes.
No, you told me 45, Michael.
No, I told you 35.
No, I'm pretty sure, like, honestly, I'm pretty sure you said 45.
Oh, no, I said 35.
Man, Michael, pull up the message. Michael, it's okay. Like, we could just sit here and talk about Shane Lockhart for 10 minutes if you want.
Yeah! Let's talk about him. Oh, my God. Let's talk about Shane Lockhart.
The evil Lockhart.
Oh, my God. Thank God. Let's talk about Shane Lockhart. So, oh, my God. Man, oh, my God. I remember this correct. I remember this all too well. You two had a match. Y'all went to New Richmond, Wisconsin. Okay, to have a match, a tag team match. Shane didn't tell me who's his partner was gonna be. Oh my God! I messaged him I think days before. He wouldn't tell nobody. He wouldn't tell me. He wouldn't tell anybody.
So who was your guest?
Oh my God. I mean, I don't know. At that time, I thought it was going to be, I don't know. I was like, I don't know, because it's like my mind was like, I was like, do I have to go through the entire wrestling community to find out who Shane's partner was going to be? So I finally just sat down, record, film some of the matches. When you guys came out, Shane, there it goes, Shane in the ring. And then guess what? And guess who he brought out? Paul Brewski. Paul Brewski. I did not know he has going to have Paul Brewski at ringside. I was so surprised. Oh my God. Cool. Now, during the match, we got to talk about what I did during the match. Yeah, I'm glad Erik brought it up. I'm glad this is not over yet. We're going to make this 45 minutes, like Erik said.
It's 46.
Okay, all right. So anyhow, during the match, I believe I told Erik, let me chop Shane Lockhart. So Erik, Erik thought I was gonna chop Shane Lockhart. Oh my goodness. I slapped the taste out of his mouth.
Oh yeah, you sure.
Everybody went nuts. Shane didn't know this. He didn't knew I was gonna slap him. I don't think everybody in New Richmond, Wisconsin loved me for doing that. And New Richmond, Wisconsin, that's not even my hometown. I mean, it's like I was getting a hometown reception when I slapped him. Everybody loved it. Lockhart's not watching this right now. Oh my God. Oh my God. I hope he's not watching this. Yeah. Oh my God. But at that point, I didn't tell you guys this. I got in trouble by Kurt after the show. I didn't tell you about that. I got in trouble by Kurt. Yeah.
I don't remember that, but I know we did a Michael's Corner at that show.
Yes. And that was the very first time I did an interview.
No kidding.
Oh, yeah. Huh. It was November 30th.
We are 100 later.
Yeah. It was November 30th. Yeah. 2013. That's how long it has been since I interviewed you guys, the both of you guys.
And what number episode is this?
This episode when I upload on YouTube will be my 100. Yay! See, I wore the shirt. I wore the Lockhart shirt. I got it just for the occasion. And I don't know about Instagram. Will probably be my 7th or 8th episode on Instagram. I don't know about Facebook. Don't get me started with Facebook. Oh my God. Now, don't get me started, Eric. I don't know about how many episodes on Facebook. God. So
can we interview you a little bit to close the show? Because it's 100th episode, so we figured we'd switch it around a little bit and make you a guest.
Yeah, let's switch around.
All right, so we're going to give you a list of names that we know that all three of us know, and just say the first thing pops in your mind or a story that pops in your mind.
Okay.
So Eric's going to start. All right. Andrew's going to start. Sammy Savari.
Sammy Savari. Wrestler.
You know him, right?
Yeah, I heard about him.
Oh, you never saw him? Okay. Sorry. Starla Love.
Oh, yes, I love her to death. Starla Love. She's a great wrestler. Female wrestler.
All right. Big Bundy Q.
Oh, that's my friend. That's my good friend.
Yeah, right. Yeah. All right. Angie Brookstone.
Oh, I love Ann Brookstone. I mean, she overcame leukemia, 2 years ago.
The Honky
yes.
Tonk Man.
Oh, I like the Honky Tonk Man. I actually, I interviewed him about, maybe 3-4 years ago. I interviewed him. It's on my YouTube channel, so check it out.
Will do. Yeah, I watched it.
Okay. Yeah.
The people that when you were up there. I knew we should have brought that list in. What was his name? Christopher St. Michael.
Oh, good God. Can we talk about him? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I actually saw that match that you two had against Christopher St. Michael. Very good job defeating him. Yes.
Piece of cake.
Finally. He's just a little peep squeak. You know, y'all beat him like yesterday's garbage.
We sure did. All right, Chad Strong.
I haven't heard Chad Strong in a long time.
Yeah.
But he's a good midget wrestler.
How about the Big Rig? I don't know if he ever.
Oh,
yeah.
I remember all two.
When I was wrestling,
you stole my phone. No, not stole my phone. You grabbed my phone and you taped it. and I think I actually still got the footage to this day.
On Facebook, yeah.
Yeah, I got it on Facebook to this day.
All right, and two more. Angel Nikki Sin.
Oh, I love her.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Andrew, I know you like her. I seen what you did at wrestling shows.
What I did?
Yeah. You kissed Angel Nikki Sin.
No, that was Andrew Boardman that did that.
No, it was you. No, it was you.
No, because I can tell I've never seen Andrew kiss a girl on the show. No.
Oh God. It's very well. Andrew can be very sneaky sometimes. I gotta keep my eye on Andrew sometimes.
One more name.
Yeah.
Michael Earl Pam.
That's me.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Well, okay, seriously, me, I'm just a simple wrestling fan. I like going to wrestling shows. You know, I like interviewing a lot of wrestlers, if they have the time. And I've been getting a lot of good feedback from a lot of people, not just who I know, but we're talking about third party that actually watch this. I'm getting a lot of great feedback from that. So if I didn't tell Kurt about Michael's Corner, about my invention of Michael's Corner, I wouldn't be interviewing you guys right now. Because Kurt took me under his wing, He tells me the pros and cons about, ups and downs about the wrestling business. And he, and I have a good reputation. And I'm just so happy that we're finally up to 100 episodes. Because seriously, without my support of the wrestling community, like you and Andrew, I would not be doing this right now. And Erik, you actually also gave me some advice too of how to edit it, do some editing the videos and whatnot. And I want to thank you for giving me some tips,
Yes,
And I actually took some of your advice. I did some editing videos, I put the local Michael's Corner and then how the interview played out. And it played out so good. That was WWE did that, where they doing kind of promos, they'll put somebody's name and click right onto the promo. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing what WWE did in the past. So.
Yes, sir. Yeah. All right, Michael. Keep on doing.
All right. So I'll see you guys next Thursday because we still got a lot to talk about, but I want to save it for next Thursday.
And hey, Michael, you've been following us for a long enough time. If you want to make a list of the names that you've seen us work with, or you've seen, or that you know that we know that you know as well, you can do some word association or name association with us next week if you want to put a list together.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I could do that.
Cool. That's your homework.
Yeah.
This is virtual learning.
All right. Well, you guys have a good evening, okay? Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Michael. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
I don't know how to hang these things up, Michael.
I'll do it.
Okay, thank you.
That was a great interview that I did with both Erik and Andrew Lockhart. They are one of the most coolest people I ever met. But don't you guys worry, because next week I'm gonna invite them back on Michael's Corner. Okay, so don't forget, you guys can follow me on YouTube at Michael's Wrestling Channel. Go to the search engine on YouTube and just just type Michael's Wrestling Channel. It should pop right up. And then you're going to follow me on Facebook, which is Michael Mo. Okay? So, okay. I will see you guys next Thursday on another edition of Michael's Corner. Take care. Have a good night, you guys.